Although it generally takes 2 to 3 years, or maybe even longer, to get a patent application granted, it's completely possible to get your application granted within a year, or maybe even less. In this video, I talk about 10 hurry-up techniques to get your patent issued fast. Hi, my name is Carr Ferrell. I'm a Silicon Valley patent attorney. Welcome back to my channel. The first method is called TrackOne Prioritized Patent Examination. This is truly patent examination on steroids, and it's available to anyone willing to pay an extra fee to have the patent office take their patent application out of turn. We recently filed 6 TrackOne patent applications for one of our tech clients, and all 6 applications were either granted or allowed within 9 months. I wish I could say that this was just great lawyering, but instead, it's really just pure capitalism. For an extra fee paid to the patent office, our government will move you to the head of the line and give you almost immediate attention. Because the TrackOne application moves so quickly through the examination process, there's a couple of bonus benefits that you get from using TrackOne. First of all, a lot of the back and forth between the patent attorney and the patent examiner is done by telephone. Not only does this speed up the process, but it actually lowers the cost of examination because there's so much efficiency in not having to write everything down. So what we find is that the total cost of a granted patent, which has gone through TrackOne acceleration, doesn't cost that much more than a patent that's gone through the normal 2 or 3 year examination, even though there's an upfront fee that's required by the patent office to enter the TrackOne program. A second bonus benefit is that there seems to be a higher probability of getting your patent application allowed, or at least the claims that you want, using the TrackOne accelerated program. Now, this is mostly anecdotal based on the many TrackOne applications that we have filed and prosecuted over the years. But here's my theory. Since so much of the prosecution between the attorney and the examiner happens by telephone, there's naturally a relationship that builds in trying to achieve this common goal of getting the patent application in a condition for allowance. And the going-in position of a TrackOne examination is that we only have 12 months to get the claims in condition for allowance. So what do we need to do to get these claims granted? It just feels like more of a collaboration, working together between the patent attorney and the patent office to get this application disposed of in the 12-month period. This is in stark contrast to an application going through normal examination, when almost always the first office action from the patent office is a complete rejection of all claims. Now, like I said, I don't have any hard data to back this up, but it just feels like to me that the TrackOne prioritized patent examination leads to a higher probability of getting patent claims allowed. Now, TrackOne examination is available to all applicants willing to pay the extra examination fee. But TrackOne may be particularly useful to startup companies going through funding cycles. Having allowed or granted patents can increase the valuation of a company in a couple of ways. First of all, just having an issued patent as an asset would naturally increase the value of a company. And secondly, the granted patents potentially reduce competitive pressure and reduce the risk to the investors, and thus valuation is enhanced. Also, if you're an inventor contemplating licensing your invention, then accelerating your patent application may make sense. Having a granted patent just makes the licensing process easier and makes the license agreement cleaner. It reduces ambiguity as to exactly what's being licensed and what the contours of the technology being licensed are. Consequently, it reduces contractual risk and potentially increases the value of the technology being transferred. Now, there is a downside that should be considered when accelerating your patent application. Normally, a patent application takes 2 to 3 years from filing to grant. During this period, the applicant has several years over which to pay for the patent application and patent prosecution. In an accelerated application, all of the costs of the patent get compressed into a single year. Now, this may not be so significant to a funded business, but for a pre-funded inventor, this could be an important consideration. Okay, so TrackOne prioritized patent examination is one method of accelerating your patent application. Let's talk about some others. A second category of acceleration is based on your circumstances as an inventor. The Patent Office will grant special status and accelerate your patent application if you or one of your co-inventors are 65 years or older or in ill health. The public policy is that we want inventors to participate in the examination process of their inventions. And if ill health might prevent future participation in this examination over the expected 2 to 3 year examination process, then the Patent Office will grant special status to that application based on health. Normally, a doctor's note or some other indicator of the health condition is all that's required to get this special status from the Patent Office. And likewise, the Patent Office will grant special status to an application from an applicant who can show proof of being 65 years or older. This would be a driver's license, a birth certificate, or some other government document. Although I think the policy here was just to protect inventors, make sure that they were clear-minded and healthy enough to participate in the prosecution of their invention. The reality is that many inventors in their 80s and older are still clear-minded enough to understand and be able to participate in patent examination. I prefer to think of the 65-year-old age acceleration as really equity to older inventors, not just for the examination itself, but for the enjoyment of the benefits of the patent. The patent grant lasts for 20 years from the date of filing, and by allowing 65-year-olds and older to have accelerated examination, it lengthens that period of time in which the patent is valid, and it gives them greater benefit with respect to the patent grant itself. I also think it can tend to incentivize older individuals who have a lot to offer with respect to new, useful, and non-obvious inventions. But either way, if you or a co-applicant are 65 years or older or of ill health, you're entitled to apply for special examination status. And the good news is there's no extra fee for this priority. Now, this next category of ways to accelerate your patent application involves certain technologies, about a half a dozen of them, that are particularly useful to the United States and to the public. If you have inventions involving one of these technologies, you can request special examination status. And with this special examination status, the Patent Office will move your patent application to the front of the queue. The first of these make special technologies include environmental inventions, inventions that relate to clean air or clean water, the remediation of toxic waste dumps, and of course, global warming. If you can tie your invention in some way to the improvement of the environment, then you have grounds for accelerating your application in the Patent Office. A second category, in some ways related to the environment, include inventions related to energy conservation. If you have energy conservation inventions, the Patent Office will make these special. These include improved efficiency motors or transmission lines, for example. Anything that can be tied to the improvement of energy efficiency. And a separate category related to energy conservation is the area of superconductivity. If you can tie in some way your invention to superconductivity, you have grounds for making it special before the U.S. Patent Office. Now, turning to healthcare, there are several categories related to healthcare where the Patent Office will make the application special. One of these categories has to do with recombinant DNA. If you have an invention related to recombinant DNA, you can request the Patent Office to make your application special. Also, inventions related to HIV and cancer can also be made special. And until recently, inventions related to the detection and treatment of COVID-19 were also eligible for special status in the Patent Office, although I believe this category has now sunsetted. And in a third broad category of inventions that are eligible for special status in the Patent Office include inventions related to countering terrorism. Now, traditionally, this anti-terrorism category probably resulted from incidents such as that at the World Trade Center. But now I think more broadly, inventions relating to cyber terrorism would also be eligible for special treatment under this category. So if you have an invention related to countering cyber terrorism or hacking, then I think you have grounds for special examination status in the Patent Office. Now, the 10th and final way I'm going to talk about today in accelerating your patent application in the Patent Office is through a program called the Patent Prosecution Highway. Now, this doesn't come up that often in the United States, but for example, if you file your patent application first in a country such as the UK or some other participating country, and you get patent allowance in that foreign country, then the US and other participating patent prosecution highway countries will use that allowed patent application in their own examinations to accelerate their examination process. Now, many of the industrialized countries of the world are participants in the Patent Prosecution Highway program. So if you do get allowance in a foreign jurisdiction, check into the Patent Prosecution Highway program in the US and see if you qualify special accelerated examination. There's no extra fee for this program. Okay, that's it for this list of 10 ways to accelerate your patent application. Now, if you want to learn more about fast patents, check out this next video. I think you'll find it super interesting. I'll see you over there.